Welcome to Ep.5 of Shadow Stories. Today, I have the opportunity to sit down and talk with the Los Lomas legend and soon-to-be Oregon State Beaver, Isaiah Newell. Isaiah, how's it going?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad I got this opportunity to sit with you. But today, we're going to talk about your tough journey and what you've had to gone through and how you persevered through all this and became a D1 running back. So,
Right.
ready? You ready?
Yes, ready.
All right. Well, going back to when I first saw you on the field, back in when you were in seventh grade, what was your mindset as a middle schooler, being the star on the team?
Uh, I mean, like when I was in middle school, I didn't really think I was gonna have a career in football. I was just kind of out there because it was just fun. Like I liked hitting people, I liked running the ball, I liked scoring touchdowns. It was just kind of more like organized recess for me. But I didn't really start falling in love with the game until freshman year.
Back then, who inspired you to, take this journey and to start playing football?
For sure, my dad, 100%. I was in a flag football league in Antioch before. So I'm like, hey man, you think I should start playing tackle? And he was like, yeah, for sure, play tackle. So, started playing tackle, and I mean, I liked it. It was cool. I was kind of always bigger than everybody, so I was kind of knocking the snot out of everybody all the time. So which is kind of fun. So then I just kind of continued with it and kind of just started developing and
Well, unfortunately, in middle school, your father passed away. Did
yeah.
your mindset ever change on and off the field?
I mean, for a little bit, losing a parent is never easy at all. Um, you go through your moments, but not really. My mindset didn't really change. I kind of my dad instilled you got to do certain things to get to a certain point, and that's kind of what he kind of drilled in my head from a young age. So that's kind of always what I've always followed.
Is there anything else your dad told you back in the day that is still stuck to you to this day and you live by it?
I mean, he always used to say little stuff about working hard, always that I could ring off a million. I mean, uh, hard work, uh, hard work beats skill any day. I mean, all those kind of ones that are common. He always used to say those things to me, because and he'd always remind me the little things matter. And I mean, and a lot of things I try to do in my life, just not football, just in my life, I try to pay attention to the little things, because little things do have an impact on the big things in life.
What was the toughest thing about moving on and continuing at such a young age?
Um, Kind of just accepting the fact that you gotta move on without your dad, someone who's been such a role model for you. That's probably the toughest thing. Is you're kind of all right. I mean, it sucks, but I kind of gotta pick myself up and move out. But and kind of move out of this kind of foggy space, and kind of because the world's gonna keep going, so you gotta go along with it too. So that was kind of the hardest thing, was um kind of refocusing myself to go try to do something with my life.
Well, you were in a crucial part in your life, being that young teenager. How'd your
Yeah.
mom help shape you during that time?
Man, I can't even explain. My mom has had a tremendous impact on me. Just from when I was born. Obviously, she's always been there, always been really supportive. The loudest one cheering at the games. But when my dad passed away, that also took a toll on her. Obviously, they were married for 18 years, so. Um, but she's been really helpful with me going through this whole entire process. Even when he first passed away, she was really helpful. She was right there. She kind of not kind of she definitely put my needs before her own needs, which is kind of cool to do. Which is kind of cool to see your mom do when everybody in the house is struggling, and when you need something, you can always count on my mom. So that's kind of cool to have when you're in a stressful time.
Well, jumping into high school, you kept that chip on your shoulder and played for Los Lomas for the varsity team for 3 seasons.
Yes,
What
sir.
went in your head when you were pulled up as a sophomore?
So that was when Longero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was when Longero said he was going to come back and be our coach. I was really nervous my sophomore season. I was really nervous when they told me I was going to be playing varsity, because I only played freshman year, skipped JV, I never really got like, like, I'm gonna be playing against 18-year-olds, and I was 15 at the time, but I was a little nervous. I didn't play in the Jamboree following our first game, or before our first game. Sorry, before our first game, I didn't play in the Jamboree. I was hurt, so I really had. So going into my first varsity game of football, I hadn't really had varsity contact like that at all, which was nerve wracking a little bit. But yeah, I was just a little nervous. But as the season went on, I was fine. I kind of adapted and got used to it.
Well, in the overall picture of high school, what was some of the toughest things that you had to face on an everyday challenge?
I mean, high school kind of like, there's a lot of distraction in high school. There's everybody kind of. I mean, I'm kind of cool with everybody, so I kind of want to be everybody's friend. So if I'm out of class or something, I'll see somebody in the hallway and start chopping it up with them, and so there's a lot of distractions like that. Probably the toughest thing, I don't really know. I can't really say I think it was really tough at Los Longos. Everything was kind of mellow. I mean, some schoolwork is tough. Um, that's just how it is.
Well, you were able to balance, schoolwork, your life, everything, and you dominated on the field. How were you able to be so successful as just a sophomore?
Um, I mean, you kind of have to. My Coach Landro, kind of told me uh, that I kind of have to start acting different. Not like acting different as in treating people differently or carrying myself differently. Acting different as saying like, like I have a talent, or I have something I'm good at, and I can do something with it if I just develop it and stay focused. Um, and that's what I did. I developed it, stayed focused. Um, I mean, like, yeah, I had fun. I had my kid. I had my what's it called? My fun time with my friends and stuff. I mean, that doesn't mean that like doesn't take away from your friends. But if you want to, you gotta stay focused for sure.
Well, sophomore year, you rushed for 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. But jumping into senior season, did you ever feel like there was a target on your back now?
Not really, not really. I was still trying to make a name for myself. I was still kind of like everybody. There was still like rumors about me, like, oh, this kid's good, or like and then some people were doubting me. Um, to be honest with you, I kind of like getting doubted because it kind of brings out the best in me. Going into junior year though, uh, I didn't really feel like I had a target on my back. I still wanted to prove myself. I still feel like I had something to prove.
Well, what did you do to help try to prove yourself on and off the field?
Um, uh, that summer going into junior year, I remember we had a really good upper class group of guys, of leaders on our team, and they pushed a lot of people in the weight room. And I think that was what helped me a lot. Is you push yourself in the weight room, your body's gonna transform, and my body transformed. I'm a little bigger. I got over 200 pounds, and then just added on to it over the season. Uh, was That's what really helped me, was kind of getting my size. So then pushing everybody in the weight room and trying to get everybody as strong as possible was really helpful in my junior year.
Well, what was your goal now that you were an upperclassman?
Well, as a junior on varsity, my goal was to make a name for myself. Um, I feel like I still felt like I was at the bottom. I only had one offer. I wanted more. Obviously, I wanted options. I wanted to play Pac-12 football. Um, but I knew I had to go in there. I knew I had to perform. I knew I had to put up uh, crazy performances. I knew I had to put up numbers. I knew I had to perform like a Division I running back should for a whole entire season, and that was
Well,
my goal going into junior year.
you did put up some of those numbers, 2,100 rushing yards, 32 TDs your junior year, led them
Yeah.
to the NCS championship. How did it feel to almost put the team on your back?
Nah. I mean, we're not. I wouldn't necessarily say put the team on my back. I mean, we had a D1 receiver. We had a quarterback that was insane. We had a safety that was insane. We had a pretty good team that year. I mean, what I did was just I was just trying to help my team win. I mean, I wouldn't say I carried my team at all. I would say that I helped them. I helped them a lot. I wouldn't say I carried. We had a lot of other pieces that were very helpful to the puzzle.
Well, after being just short of going to state, how did you prepare for your senior season to try to hit state that senior year?
So after junior year ended, I was like, all right, I was kind of upset. I feel like that team should have gone farther for sure. So I was like, I was coming to senior year preparing to play both sides of the ball, preparing to play both linebacker and running back. But I wasn't gonna play both sides of the ball because I broke my wrist, so they were just gonna have me play one side of the ball. But after all my PT was over and stuff, I started getting all my strength back, which really helped me. Because I was already like 210 plus, and so I got a lot of my size, and then I started running, so I feel like I got a little faster over the summer, heading into senior year.
Well, you finished your senior year in your career with 5,700 rushing yards, 74 touchdowns in 3 seasons. Did you ever expect to hit these numbers going into high school?
Nah, not even close. Not even close. Like, it's still kind of crazy to talk about. Like when you even say those numbers out loud. I don't know if you know this, but like my freshman through sophomore year, I had some crazy troubles in school. Like my head wasn't in the right spot. So a lot of people don't know what I had to do to kind of like get myself to this point here, which is insane. Because what I had to do was insane. It was night classes at DVC for 4 hours, ACT tutoring. I took the ACT twice. Now I'm not a great student, but it is crazy to hear about these numbers I put up in. I mean, it's not even the football numbers. Forget the football numbers. Like, I mean, football is whatever, but the numbers are cool. Like, I put up cool numbers for football, and like I got a scholarship. But that's not what really matters to me. Like, I'm really proud about like my accomplishments on the football field, but I've had to dig myself out of this ridiculous hole in school, which I'm way more proud about than like my accomplishments in football, because like I actually like I worked so hard just to get into like Oregon State. It's not even funny. So I mean, I know it's not a hard school to get into, but I mean, like, I'm proud I got in, but I don't even care.
Hey, it's still a D1 school, and
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
talking about it, what did you enjoy the most about all these D1 schools coming through to Las Lomas, and talk about the college recruitment process?
Oh, okay. So the college recruitment process it's fun. It's really fun, but it's also kind of hectic. I know during like school a lot of times some coaches don't know your school schedule, so like they would just kind of like text you out of the blue. And I like me personally, like I like to text back kind of fast. I mean, like, so if I'm texting at night, I probably won't text back fast, but like during the day, if I'm up and going, I like to text back fast. So like I felt kind of bad because I wasn't able to respond to him in a cool manner, but um, they text you a lot. The cool thing about it is that like you kind of you're getting attention. I mean, I guess like if you're a guy who likes attention, I don't really care. I found it. I didn't really think anything of it like that. I didn't think it was like I'm not an attention seeker. But it's definitely cool because you get to go see like all these different facilities. You get to talk to all these different guys. Like I was on the phone with Coach Kleeman, like Kansas State. Like he was at North Dakota and like won like a whole bunch of like NCAA championships over there. Like that's crazy. Like that's cool. I could talk to Antonio Pierce from Arizona State. Yeah, he what's it called? Played in the Super Bowl. I think he has a Super Bowl ring. It's like
Yeah.
it's cool to talk to these people like Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards came to my school, and like it's cool to like me always have different type of guys. Like I've talked to DeMarco Murray. Like I watched that guy on YouTube to like follow his running styles because he runs so hard. It's kind of crazy to see like the people you like see on TV on these big screens in the recruiting world, and like they're at your school. It's just kind of cool to see. Like, wow.
Well, you just said earlier, you took Oregon State. Why'd you decide to take your talents up north?
Coach Petrie, to be honest with you, Coach Petrie, I knew that. I knew he's one of the best coaches in the game, and I'm really excited to get coached by him. And also just like the surrounding environment of Corvallis, it's a really pretty environment. The school's amazing. The school campus is really cool. And I just like what they have to offer. They have this program called the Bridge program. They offer it to students who are coming in like over the summer, and you take a few classes, and like you go to like I'll go to football workouts, and you take a few classes, you kind of get like adjusted to college life, before like school, like actual school starts. And I kind of like that because it's obviously a pretty big transition. I mean, I live in Walnut Creek, so I live in Walnut Creek, so like Walnut Creek and Corvallis are somewhat similar, but I won't be home. You know what I'm saying? So like I won't be like in my home, so it's gonna be a little different. That's what I like about it.
Well, when it came to, recruiting and everything, you're a three-star, and some make it big, some don't. But how can you become the next hidden gem in college?
I really think that I have to go there and be hungry and just work my tail off. We already got or a couple running backs that have in-game experience, and I just got to go in there and just whatever the coaches ask me to do, got to do it and do it to the best of my abilities.
You're soon to be a D1 football player. How has your family and friends helped shape you to where you are today?
Man, my family's helped me because my family's always taught me to stay humble. I've always been kind of a humble guy. I've never really, like I said earlier, I've never been like this big attention seeker. I've kept my circle small. It's I mean, not with my family, but my family, it's just me and my brother and my mom, and then my friends. I got like 6 friends that I could truly call my friends, and they've shaped me. I can't even describe how much like my mom's helped me and my friends have helped me going through this process and just kind of like building who I am, and it's really helped a lot.
After your 4 years of Los Lomas, how have your coaches and teammates helped shape you to where you are today?
Oh man, my coaches definitely. I don't even know. Like, there's so much stuff I could say. I definitely say the one main thing they did was change the way I run. I was kind of like I want to say like a big softy, but I think I think I have to say that I kind of like was a big softy. Um, but as time progressed, they kind of told me that I kind of learned a more aggressive running style, which was pretty helpful in recruiting.
Well, unbelievably, I was looking online and they already consider you to be a round 5 or round 6 draft pick in the NFL in the future. If you told your middle school self that, what do you think he'd be saying today?
You tripping, bro? You tripping? I didn't even know that they had me at a fifth to sixth round draft pick. That's crazy. In high school, they're predicting NFL draft picks in high school.
Yeah, I ran across that yesterday and I thought, man, I'd never seen that before until I was looking at you.
The heck, yeah. I didn't even know that. That's funny.
Well, 2 more questions, After all the hardship you've gone through this last decade, what do you think your dad would say to you if he saw you right now?
Man, I think he would say he'd be proud of me because we used to sit on the couch on Saturdays and like talk about me playing football on Saturdays. You know, like playing on TV. That was one of his dreams. He was a big Ohio State fan because he's from Columbus, and so every single time uh, Ohio State would win, or if Ohio State won, he'd be hecka happy, best mood ever. But they lost. It's the worst day. It's the worst day ever. And he really wanted me to go to Ohio State. He's like, you gotta work to go to Ohio State. You gotta work to go to Ohio State. And when he passed away, I was like, I play football, but like I don't even know if I'm that good. Like I don't even know. Like I said, I really truly fall in love with the game of football until freshman year, a year after he passed away. And I felt like me playing football was my connection to my dad. But I think my dad would say he'd be proud of me. This was his dream for me. And then when he passed away, it kind of just magnified even more for me because I knew what I wanted to do.
Well, final question. Do you have any final message to your friends, family, the Beaver Nation, and the Knights community?
Uh, to the Knights community, I guess I would just say thank you so much for just kind of embracing me. I didn't know what I was going to get into when I came over here, but it turned out to be one of the best 4 years of my life. To my friends, Los Lomas, man, it was definitely fun. I mean, I'm not talking. I mean, like, obviously the 6 friends I have are gonna be my best friends for life. But just like to the people I saw every day, like in the classrooms, that I'm probably not gonna see for a while. Like, I mean, like, it was really cool just to kind of like interact with those people every day. Los Alamos coaches, man, it was obviously, it was then it was. I told them at the banquet, it was obviously real. It was one of the best experiences of my life coming to Los Alamos. Definitely.
Well, I got to thank you for your time, Isaiah. I enjoyed
Definitely.
talking to you, catching up to you.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you and your Beavers.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.